A solitary grave lies here, the resting place of Wang Caiyu, mother of Chiang Kai-shek, Taiwan's first president. Her tomb stands on the Chinese mainland in Xikou, Fenghua, Ningbo, Zhejiang. She sleeps here. Jiang himself remains in Taiwan, his burial long unresolved. Today, we step into his ancestral home in Zhejiang, the cradle of his childhood, to ask how was the future island-bound strongman formed in those early years.
Hello everyone, hope you are having a wonderful day. I am now at the Xikou town, Ningbo City, Zhejiang Province, People's Republic of China. And this is the residence of Taiwan's first president, Mr. Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek is also the last president of the Republic of China to govern on the mainland of China, and his son Jiang Jingguo is the third Taiwan president.
Chapter 1: The place of his birth and a life of resolve. From the Han Dynasty through the Qing Dynasty, salt was largely a state monopoly. Even so, by the late Qing, the empire relied on licensed private merchants to keep the system efficient. This white county yard was one of them, Yutai Salt Shop, run by Chiang Kai-shek's father, Jiang Zhaocong. He had built a comfortable fortune here. What you see today is a reconstruction of a small town salt dealer's shop. After 1895, when Jiang Zhaocong died, that prosperity slowly faded. Chiang Kai-shek was only 7. Upstairs, there is a small room that local tradition points to Chiang Kai-shek's birthplace. On October 31, 1887, he was born here, a life that would run for more than 80 years. His father's early death hit hard, pushing him toward self-discipline, resolve, and a certain aloofness. In traditional society, a child without a father often faced social headwinds, and Jiang felt them early. Yutai Salt Shop suffered more than one fire in its history. During the Japanese occupation of Xikou, the building was seized and used as a so-called comfort station. After World War II, it was in ruins. Fires and termites had done their worst. In 1948, with support from Chiang Kai-shek and the members of the Jiang clan, the shop was rebuilt on its original site, giving us much of what we see today. Jiang even left his own calligraphy here, Yutai Salt Shop, original site. Ironically, within a year or two of writing those words, he would leave the mainland for Taiwan after the nationalist defeat. Out front runs the Shanxi, the mountain stream that gives Xikou its name. The water, the red lions, the haze over the hills feel strikingly close to northern Taiwan's lake and mountain country. During his years in Taiwan, Chiang Kai-shek often sought solace in the island's lakes and mountains, an ongoing remembrance of his hometown. Chapter 2: Inheritance and the memory of his mother. In late Imperial China, when the patriarch died, the sons typically divided the estate. After Jiang Jie's father Jiang Zhaocong passed away in 1895, the family split the property. The Yutai Salt Shop parcel went to the older half-brother Jiang Jieqing, while the ancestral residence was assigned to Chiang Kai-shek and his younger full brother Jiang Ruiqing. Jiang Ruiqing died young, so the whole residence eventually fell to Chiang Kai-shek. What you see at the former residence today carries a grand look because the compound underwent a major expansion in 1929 after the nationalists controlled the full China, and the later restorations gave it the scale we recognize now. At the heart of Chiang Kai-shek's former residence stands Bao Bentang, literally the hall for repaying one's roots. Here, the Jiang family, in sharing the ancestral tablets, and performed the most important household rites, honoring heaven, earth, and their forebears, an echo of China's long tradition of revering heaven and following the ancestors. The hall looks lavish for a reason. After the nationalist government achieved nominal reunification in 1928, Jiang had the family compound significantly expanded in 1929, giving the residence much of its current scale and finish. Inside Bao Bentang, you will find carved beams and painted panels, Chinese stories of loyalty, virtue, and filial duty rendered in fine woodwork. On the west side of Bao Bentang stands a small two-story house, the rooms where his mother, Wang Caiyu, raised the young Chiang Kai-shek. She passed away in 1921, a traditional Han woman with bound feet. Every step was a burden. Later, when he repaired the old house, he set a stair by the right front wall, narrow chairs, narrow like the shoes his mother once wore, so that her spirit could return, climb the steps, and look upon the ancestral home again. People here call it the Filial Son Stair, a small stair along memory. For Chiang Kai-shek, this ancestral compound also holds a memory he would rather forget. He married Mao Fumei here in 1901. She is the birth mother of Taiwan's third president, Jiang Jingguo. During the Japanese air raids of the late 1930s, Mao Fumei was killed in an attack on Xikou. Local accounts say she tried to flee the residence when bombs fell. A blast brought down the rear wall and she died beneath the rubble. Chapter 3: Remembering the Ancestral Teaching and the Road to Revolution. In traditional China, every wealthy family built an ancestral hall, and the Jiang clan was no exception. Yet the Jiangs was not originally from Zhejiang. Their roots trace back to Yixing in Jiangsu province. For a family that had migrated across provinces, remembering their ancestors carried even deeper meaning. During the Kangxi reign of the Qing dynasty, the Jiang family established a grand ancestral shrine here in Xikou. After the Nationalist Party seized power over China, Chiang Kai-shek expanded it once again. The shrine's central hall, the main worship hall, was completed in 1929 at the height of his political glory. Behind it, in a warm chamber, stand the memorial tablets of dozens of Jiang ancestors, a layout remarkably similar to the imperial tombs of the Qing dynasty. This hall was not only a place for honoring the ancestors, it also served as a site of memorial rites for later generations of the Jiang family. After Mao Fumei, the wife of Chiang Kai-shek and the mother of Jiang Jingguo, was killed during the Japanese air raids. Her funeral and memorial ceremony were held right here. To the south of the hall stands an elegant open-air opera stage. During major festivals, Spring Festival, Mid-Autumn, performances were held here, with the stage always facing the ancestral tablets, so that the forefathers might enjoy the place along with the living. The Jiang family had migrated from Jiangsu to Zhejiang centuries earlier. For generations, they tilled the soil or ran small businesses, never producing officials under the Qing Empire. Chiang Kai-shek later expanded this himself. Their family had a long-standing rule never to serve the Qing dynasty, and perhaps it was this ancestral command that guided him to take up arms in the revolution against the Manchus in 1900s and 1910s. Chapter 4: Embarrassing martial virtue and the spirit of the soldier. In the 1900s, Chiang Kai-shek presented himself as a soldier, and he would keep that image for life. After deciding to join the anti-Qing revolution, he earned an officially sponsored place to study military science in Japan with a Qing government stipend. In Tokyo, he soon joined the Tongmenghui, the revolutionary league that sought to topple the Qing. He later threw himself into the 1911 revolution and again into the Second Revolution of 1913. Back home in Xikou, Jiang carried this martial ideal into the town's landmarks. In 1929, he ordered the rebuilding of the town gate and the image Wuling Gate, Wuling invoking martial virtue. The gate's plaques by calligraphy from Yu Youren, a prominent KMT leader and master calligrapher on the outer face, and Jiang on the inner face. During the turmoil of the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976, locals reportedly white-washed covered the characters to protect them. The gate was repaired and reopened in the 1980s. Just up the road is Wuling Middle School, founded in 1929 and later headed by Jiang 1932. The school took its name for the same gate. In its auditorium and ceremonies, educators promoted discipline, civic virtue, and Song Yixuan's 3 principles, carrying the Wuling spirit into the next generation. Chapter 5: Marriage and Deals on the Road to Political Power. The marriage between Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Fu-mei, the birth mother of Jiang Jingguo, was never a happy one. It was an arranged marriage decided by the Jiang clan. Through years of exile, revolution, and soldiering, Jiang never kept his distance from women. He had multiple relationships, the most consequential being his marriage to Song Meiling. Charles Song Yaoru, father of Song Meiling, was a towering figure in the nationalist movement, and the Song family wielded deep economic and financial influence across Jiangsu and Zhejiang. With the goal between arranging the match, Jiang married Song Meiling, the third Song daughter, in the late 1920s. Her elder sister Song Qingling was Song Yixuan's last wife. Raised in Western schools, Song Meiling was thoroughly at ease with Western life. Through his marriage into the Song family, Chiang Kai-shek expanded his clout inside the Kuomintang and reassured business elites in Jiangsu, Zhejiang that he had both the will and the means to protect property and order. So when he briefly stepped down in the early 1913s, he soon forged his way back to the KMT's inner circle and remained its dominant figure on the mainland through 1949 and later as president in Taiwan until his death in 1975. For their homecomings to Xikou, Jiang had a Wenchang Pavilion built on the inner side of the town gate's roofline to serve as a small villa when the couple stayed in town. Inside, it was outfitted with a rain-rail water tower system to supply running water to the broader Xikou compound. In today's reconstructed pavilion, you will see a ground flower hall, an upstairs salon, and the bedroom attributed to Jiang and Song Meiling. The original pavilion was destroyed in the 1913s during the Japan's invasion of China. What you see now was rebuilt on the mainland in later years as part of efforts to improve cross-strait relations, restoring the old skyline of Xikou. Next to the Wenchang Pavilion stands the little Western-style house, today known as the place where Jiang Jingguo lived after returning from the Soviet Union in 1937. The house was not originally built for him. It went up around 1930, intended for Chiang Kai-shek's foreign staff, most notably the Australian advisor William Henry Donald, known in Chinese as Duan Na, and later served various Chiang family members. Jiang Jingguo came home carrying strong Leninist and Stalinist influences. Accounts say his father installed him here to re-immerse in traditional Chinese texts and to draft his report on life in Russia, a way to rethink his Soviet years. The rooms functioned as his study and office, with modern comforts for the time. The house's most famous relic sits on the ground floor. The stone inscribed "Wash blood with blood" in Jiang Jingguo's hand. His war after his mother Mao Fumei was killed in the 1939 Japanese bombing of Xikou. The original inscription was destroyed during the Second Sino-Japanese War. The stone now displayed here is the 1946 re-engraving, later moved into this house. From the 1930s, Jiang Jingguo began to appear on China's political stage. In 1939, he became administrative commissioner for Gannan in Jiangxi, launching the so-called Gannan New Deal. Decades later, after Chiang Kai-shek's death in 1975, Yan Jiagan briefly served as president, and in 1978, Jiang Jingguo assumed the presidency of the Republic of China, serving until 1989. Chapter 6: The Tomb of Jiang Jieshi's mother and his final years on the mainland. In 1945, with the United States Pacific Offensive at its peak and the Soviet Union entering the war against Japan, Tokyo capitulated and the Sino-Japanese War came to an end. Almost immediately, Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists and the Chinese communists plunged back into civil war. By late 1949, the communists had taken the mainland. The nationalist government withdrew to Taiwan, where Jiang would later resume the presidency. As nationalist forces crumbled, calls grew inside the KMT for Jiang to step down. He resigned the presidency on January 21st, 1949, and returned to his hometown Xikou in Zhejiang. There, across the spring of 1949, he spent several months receiving visitors, handling party affairs, and tending to family matters. A few kilometers outside the town, on the slope of Baiyan Mountain, lies the tomb of his mother Wang Caiyu, a hillside resting place established in 1921 and later developed with a long memorial path. During that last spring on the mainland, Jiang visited and paid respects there more than once. The Lunar New Year of 1949 was likely his last Lunar New Year on the mainland. Family gathered at the ancestral residence in Xikou, joy mixed with the sorrow of a farewell. Soon after, as the front collapsed, Jiang left for Taiwan. From then on, the separation from his native soil was complete. From Chiang Kai-shek's regime, you can tell he came from a small-town merchant background. In his hometown Xikou, the landmark is Xuedou Temple. That large hall you see in the drawn shot belongs to the modern Xuedou Temple complex, rebuilt in the late 20th century. After marrying Song Meiling, Jiang was baptized a Methodist in 1930, yet he continued from time to time to pay respects at temples, especially Xuedou Temple, which his devout Buddhist mother had frequented. In later years, he would visit there in her memory. So, was this mix of Christian faith and incense at a Buddhist temple the reason of his political downfall? Of course not. That's just my little joke. Thanks for watching.